there. Today I'm going to be doing a lantern for the 4th of July. So I love to decorate the outside of my house. And I have a bunch of different lanterns, and so I kind of decorate them for the seasons, and it just is a lot of fun. So I'm going to move the camera down and we'll get started. So I have this lantern. It's a very large lantern. Now you don't have to have one this large, but I just happen to have my large one up here right now. So we're going to decorate the inside and the outside. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have a ton of stuff to decorate this with. So I have all kinds of little different things that we can put. We're of course going to make a bow. But aren't these fun? These came from Hobby Lobby. They're just really cute. They're like sparkle grass. I don't think we'll use this rocket, but I do like this, and I like this. That's cute. I've got stars. I've got more of the little curlies. I've got more of the sparkly grass, and this actually has little ornaments on it. This all came from Hobby Lobby. I've got this one, and look at this flowers. Isn't this cute? It has a little flag in it with some little sparkly things. It's really cute. So it's red, white, and blue flowers. We're not going to use a whole bunch, but we're going to use some. And then I've got this cute little hat. Isn't that cute? I have all different kinds of ribbons. So let's look at our ribbons. So I have red with the stars, and I have blue with white stars. You can get these at Craft Outlet. This came from Carolina Pottery. Isn't this pretty? It looks like little fireworks. I really like that. And it does not have a whole bunch in a roll. It's very small amount. But that's okay because we don't need a gigantic bow for this. I have red and white. And I like to use 1.5 inch, especially when I'm doing something like a lantern. I have red, white, and blue. And I have the red and white stripe with the blue stars. I also have that in 2.5 inch. So what we're going to do first is we're going to do a bow. And we're going to do a pretty simple bow. Because I know there are a lot of people out there who struggle with bows. So we're just going to do an easy bow. So you can see that there are easy ways to make bows. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to cut, let's look at 28 inches. Let's see. That's good. Okay, so we're going to cut like 28 inches on this one. Okay. I'm going to cut 28 inches on this one. I don't know how much we have of this one. Let's see. We have a little over a yard. So we'll just leave that. We have about 30 inches of this one. Okay. So these two, this one and this one, I'm going to cut longer. So, or maybe this one, and this one will cut longer. Alright. So let's see. Let's cut this. Let's look at a yard. So if we did. So what I'm doing, okay, is I'm taking it and I'm pinching it So this is probably about the size of the loops that I want, and I'm putting it here so I can see how far down my streamer is going, okay? So that's why I'm doing that. So that means that I want this one to be longer than that. So let's do maybe a yard and about 20 inches. Because I can always trim it off, but I can't add more. I can't go back and add more ribbon. So I would rather have it too long than not long enough. Okay, I want this one to be pretty long, like maybe a yard and 20 inches. So there's a reason I'm cutting these a little bit longer. And I have one more ribbon. And it's blue and white. So we'll do the yard and 20 inches. So you should be able to find all of these ribbons at Craft Outlet, majority of them, or something that's pretty similar. So what I'll do is I will essentially find the center of this. Now I'm going to pinch it. Let's see. That's about a 4-inch loop. Okay. Yes, that's good. All right. So I'm just going to pick these up. I'm going to find the center. Doesn't have to be exact. And then I'm going to pinch it. Let's see how big this one is. 5 inches. Yeah, I think I like that better. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that I have the same size loops. Okay, so I'm just making one loop. I'm going to put it in between my thumb and my forefinger here. Okay, I'm just going to take each piece and do the same thing. So I'm just going to find the center. I'm going to make sure that my loops are the same size. Yes. Okay, and I'm just holding it in my hand. Alright. Now these, I want the ends to be the same. On these, they don't have to be. So we can do like that. Let's see. So we'll have one end that's longer, one end that's shorter. Okay, and I'm just putting it in my hand. Now if you have trouble holding it, you can put it in your Bodabra. So this one's the same thing. So you see I want my links to be a little bit different. Okay. Alright. So again, every time I'm going and making sure it's the same size. So I just stick my hand in it, and if it's not, I kind of pull it down a little bit and then try again. There we go. Okay. This one, I'm going to end up cutting this off, but I want to at least get my loop correct. Here we go. But I'm going to move this around the back right there. Okay. And I'm just getting it to the same level as that. Alright, and this one, we're going to do this one in the center. So the 1.5 inch I'm doing in the center. And the other ones I am kind of putting them more up towards the top. Okay, so I have this ready. So there's two ways you can do this. You can use wire or you can use pipe cleaners. So I'm just going to pull out a blue pipe cleaner and I'm going to tie it around this whole part here. And I want to get it as tight as possible. So I'll hold the pipe cleaner and I will twist this, pulling really tight. And I'm going to twist it on. Because what I don't want is to put my bow on here and then all this to come loose. Because that would just be very frustrating. Alright, so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pipe cleaner and I'm going to tie it around. This has a little ball on the top, so I'm going to tie it around that. Just like that. And I'm just going to keep tying it back and forth until I have it tied on. And then I can pull out my bow. And let's see, I want this to be on the side here. Alright, we're going to, so this is the front. I'm going to take some of this and move it on this side. Okay, so we'll take some. We'll cut some of this a little bit. I'm going to put a little bit in the back. So, move that around the back. Move this around the back. And then move this one on this side. Okay? And then I'll just get my little loops fluffed out. Now, of course, you can add as many loops as you want. I don't want a ton of loops because I want to have room to put some cute little things in here. All right, so now let's trim this one off. So I'm going to cut this one at an angle and just trim that off. I'm going to cut this one at an angle. This one, I want to curl it. So that's why we have longer ones. There we go. This one, I'm going to curl it. Okay. And then at the back, I want to curl these. Pull it out a little bit. Okay. So these are pretty easy to curl. They have wire in them, so you just kind of pull on it until you get it to where you want it to be. You can even kind of crimp it a little to get it to stay where you want it to. Okay. So this one, I'm going to cut at an angle. Alright. This one, I'm going to cut at an angle. There we go. Alright, this one, I want to curl it. There. Alright. So I just keep kind of moving things around until I get them where I want them to be. Alright. So I kind of want to leave the front because I'm going to need to get in and out of it. So I will actually cut this one right there pretty short. So that way I can still get in and out of the door. Okay. Whoop, and this one moved. So we're going to put it back. That one back. So they are going to kind of move around a little bit, and that's okay. Just move them back. They will move pretty easily. There we go. There. Let's put this one on this side. There we go. All right. So this is the only part that takes a while. There we go. Alright, so once I have my tails pretty much the way that I want them, I'm going to turn on my Mr. Glue Gun here. Okay. Now, I'm going to start cutting some things to put in and around my bow. Okay? So I definitely want this hat. And what I was thinking about for this hat, I often like to put things kind of coming out of my bow because it just kind of helps, I think, tie things into the bow. So I'm probably going to put this right smack dab in the center. But I need to figure out where. I think that's good. Okay. So so there's wire here. So I'm just kind of getting it to the size I want. There we go. I like that. Okay, so we'll glue that in. But for right now, I have it to the height that I want. Okay, and we're going to cut a little bit of these flowers. So one thing I like to do when I'm using flowers is to push the leaves up if possible. And then trim some off. And the reason I do that is because then it has the leaf on it and you can. So we'll put it in around the bow. Okay. So sometimes what I like to do is I just kind of like to place things around and see how they look, and then I'll come back and start gluing some things in. Okay. I like this one. It's pretty and it has a lot of greenery. So, just gonna. Okay. We definitely need a red. I love things like this. So little things like this are awesome to put in around bows. Come up. So see, things like this are really cute. You can put them in. See, isn't that cute? Just kind of coming out of the bow. These are great. Things like this. So you can have them coming out of the back like this. Yes, I like that. That's cute. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we have. Oh, these are so cute. These will be cute. So these came from Hobby Lobby too. So we can. Let's see. Can have that coming out. That is adorable. Okay, so comfortable with where we're going to put things. So we can wait on our glue gun here. Then we can start loading in. Let's see. That's pretty warm. Alright, so I'm going to cut these about 3 inches. Yep, because I want to have enough to kind of stick underneath there, but I don't want to have so much that I have trouble getting it in. So I'll go ahead and cut some of this off. Okay. Alright, and another thing I like to do is I have these wonderful palm leaves, and I like to put these in. So I just cut some off. This makes great filler because you can really kind of cut it at all different lengths. So you can really take this part and glue it in, and then it really kind of gives volume and it kind of fills in a lot. It's just a really great filler. Okay. Alright, let's see if this is ready. Yep, we got some coming out. Okay, so I will start kind of pulling up and gluing underneath the base there, like that. Okay, and I'll just move this around so that I can work. And I am lifting it up and kind of gluing underneath it. It just kind of helps keep it in place. It gives it something to glue to. Okay. So we have these little pieces under here, and that really helps give it a base to glue to. So those tiny little ribbon pieces that we had from these bigger pieces, and that's what I'm gluing to. Okay. Some things you can really stick right in. To the middle to glue it down like that. Okay. Let's see. Cut this one off just a little bit. I think it's a little too long. Okay. Okay. There we go. Let's put this one in. So there is no right way or wrong way when you're doing these. You really just have to go with what you like, the way you like it to look. Okay. I really like this flower. They're one of my favorite flowers. Okay. Let's stick it down in here. There we go. I like that. Let's use another one of those. I just think, whoops! Ha ha ha! Okay. Don't do that! I just pulled a little too hard. off. Okay. So we've got this one here. Okay. Let's put our little hat in here. Keep those up there. So I'm just going to put a good amount of glue on the bottom of it. And just kind of maneuver it in the center. Okay. There we go. That's cute. I like that. Okay. Now we can start filling in a little bit. So I'm just taking some greenery. I'm going to fill in around these flowers a little bit. Okay. This has these cute little like greenery pieces in it. We're going to put a few of these in. So you see that? That's really cute. I'm going to put that right in there. Okay. And you just kind of glue it anywhere you can get it to adhere. And see what that does is that covers up where I put that flower, and it just gives it a nice little pop of green. Okay, so we have this one. It has two little blue flowers on it, so let's use that one. Okay. Okay, we're going to put that here. So I love to pick things up when they come in bunches like this. And the reason I do that is because it has everything you need in it already. You don't have to try to go out and find different things to put in your arrangements. It already has everything in it. It's also a lot more economical to do it that way. All right. This little guy kind of came loose a little. All right, so let's see. That's our front, so we don't want. There we go. Okay. So I'm just kind of moving things around so it's not stuck in the front. Okay. Let's see. So I have this. I really like these. So I will separate these. I'll just clip it off. Sometimes you can get them to pull out, and sometimes they just don't want to. So I'm going to put one back here. Okay. There we go. All right, let's do one on the other side. Yeah, that one pulled out. Okay. So I don't really need this white paper on it, so I'll just peel that off. Okay, so I'm going to put one here. Okay. There we go. Let's get it in there. Good. There we go. Alright, then you can take some of this grass stuff and you can put that coming out. I don't know if this will separate. I don't think it will. I think that might be a little too long. I don't know if we're going to use that. Okay. I think it's looking really cute. Alright. So I like to decorate the inside too, but that's kind of an optional thing. But I just thought I would show you. Alright. So I like the way the top is. I don't want it to be too overwhelming. So I'm really done with the top. So let me make sure you can see it. So this is what it looks like. You see, it's nice, it's simple, it's just cute. It doesn't need to be overwhelming to be cute. And you don't need a whole huge bow either, even on a large piece. So I like to do the inside. And what I usually do is I usually get these little styrofoam circles. And this one fits perfectly in here. Okay, so what I do is I'll take the plastic off. Okay. And I don't want it to look like this. Okay, so there's a couple of ways that you can take care of this. You can cover it in mesh. You can cover it in moss, which is what we're going to do. I really love this. This is sheet moss, and it's just a little bit easier to deal with to me. So it comes in a sheet, and it's thin. It's messy because it's moss, but let me pan back down here. Okay, so you can take it and just put it right on like this, and then I'll run it around the bottom and trim it off. This just is a little bit easier to deal with than it is to have to take the other kind of moss and piece it on. So what I like to do is get that piece figured out, and then I like to cover the sides, and then I can come back and fix the top. So I'll just cut it like this, and then I'll use this as a template to cut a couple more pieces. And this just serves the purpose of covering the bottom. Okay. Now, Styrofoam doesn't like hot glue, so you still want to put some on, but you know, you want to let it cool for a second, and you want to get out there some little floral pins. You can get these little metal floral pins. So I let it cool for just a minute so that it's not quite as hot. And then I put it on. And then I stick a floral pin in. Okay? Just like that. Okay. Alright, so let's get the next pieces ready. So we'll let it cool for a minute. Then I will put it right up against the last piece and place it down. Then I'm going to put a couple pins in. 1, 2. Okay. And we'll do this piece. And that's okay that it's not going to be exact because we still have this one piece left. Alright. So put my pins in. Okay. Now what you can do, so the pins are fine with hot glue. So you can put a little dab of hot glue on it. And then you take a piece of the extra that's left and just stick it right on there. And that will cover your pins. So I just put a little dab on there. There's always extra pieces laying around and I just stick it on. Just like that. Okay. Here's another piece. And be careful you don't glue yourself because it's really easy to do. Especially when you're putting this down. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about that one because it's going to get covered. So it's a little light down here. So let's see. Okay. Alright, so we're going to put our glue on here. And we're going to let it sit for a minute. Okay? Otherwise, if you don't, what happens is you put it on that styrofoam and it just eats right through the styrofoam. So it makes it very difficult when you're working on a project when that happens. So you want to make sure that you let that glue cool just a little bit. And then you can place it down. Okay. Oh, there's an extra piece. Sticking in my hands. Okay. And we have that piece. Okay. Now we're going to put our floral pins in. Okay. And I'm actually pulling some of the grass up and then placing it back down. Okay. All right. Now I can cover this one. little bit more so we can cover that one. Okay. All right. There we go. Now I can just take this and just kind of slip it in here. It's going to be snug because I've added this foam to it. Okay. So we added our moss in, and so now it's pretty snug in there. But it should be fine. Looks like I need a pin right there. Wants to pop up. Okay. There we go. So I don't want to glue it to the bottom of my lantern because I want to be able to change this out for seasons. And these little styrofoam are pretty inexpensive. Okay, so what we can do is we can put our candle in here like that. And then we can take some of this fun stuff and we can put it in around our little candle. So these things come apart. They have wire. Okay, and I like to put these in because to me they almost look like they're creating a window. So I just slip it in and push it down. There we go. Let's hide that little piece. There we go. Okay. Alright, there's one left. Okay. So, pull this one out. That one. Right in the front. There we go. Put that out. Oh, let's turn it around. Okay. So we've got, I put that in the wrong spot. There we go. All right. So it just looks like a little, I don't know, I don't even know what I would describe it as. To me it looks like almost like it creates a window. Okay. And then we have these cute little things. We can cut these off. I'm going to put in around it. There we go. You can put things like this in there. Let's see what else we have. Got a little bit more of this. Put this one in the back. There we go. Okay. Now, if you're going to do something like this, it's best to use a candle that is the battery operated. You wouldn't really want to use a regular candle amidst all this glitter. So definitely don't do that. So this, you can take these little balls off and you can stick the little stars in like that. Oh, that's cute. Okay. So, I'm going to place these around. Okay. Now I'll keep those little balls because I can use them on something else. Okay, and I put just a dab of glue on the end of it so I can keep it from popping out too much. Let's, there we go. A little bit easier for me to get in there with my pliers, so. Okay. It is a little bit easier to decorate it outside of here, but it's a little bit more difficult to get it in here if you try and do that. So I just go ahead and decorate it while it's in there. Okay. All right. There we go. That's really cute. It's hard to see, so let's see. It looks really cute when you put one of those battery operated candles in there and then you turn it on at night. It just looks really cute. So, all right. Okay, so that's it. And that is my 4th of July, pull this up. That's my 4th of July lantern. So I hope you enjoyed this. I had fun doing it. Now, of course, the inside is optional, but it looks really cute when it's decorated, especially with these, like this little red stuff here. You put a battery operated candle in there. It just kind of brightens it up, and it's just really cute outside. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you again soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.